nut. Nada.
All right, that's a bit of Orange Crush. It's by Andrew Young, or the Mad Fanatic, as he's better known to fans. The Connecticut musician will be pumped for today's Super Bowl. He's a huge Denver Broncos fan, but he also says his love of the team helped him come back from a particularly difficult period in his life. Turns out it's not just a one-way street when it comes to inspiration. Bronco team members have said they love his catchy style, and you can see why.
Probably why it's going to Canton. This is not a practice. You're in full pants. He ain't got a red shirt, so you can hit him.
All right, and here's the man behind those catchy beats. Andrew Young joins us from New Haven, Connecticut. Thanks for being with us on the big day, Andrew.
Thank you for having me. How you guys doing?
Great. So let me ask you, I thought I saw that you have written a song for almost every game they play. What inspired you to start writing songs about the Broncos?
Well, originally what inspired me was the lack of inspiration. I went through a crazy situation where I used to smoke way too much marijuana, and I got so paranoid that I actually had to be hospitalized in like a psychiatric ward of a hospital. And then I got out the hospital and realized I can't smoke anymore. But I used to think that my inspiration came from smoking. I was wrong, but that's what I thought. But so for a while after that, I thought I couldn't smoke and I thought I couldn't create. So I thought I was just done making music. So for about an 8-month period, I just was miserable. Plus, I was on medication to try to bring my dopamine levels back to normal. So, but the only thing I liked to do was watch football, talk about football, be on the Bronco message boards, arguing with fans about who we should draft. And for about 8 months, I didn't make a single song. I just thought I didn't have it. And then all of a sudden, Lil Wayne made a song about the Packers, right when they were playing the Super Bowl against the Steelers, and he remixed Black and Yellow by Wiz Khalifa, called it Green and Yellow. And all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I can make a song about football, because in reality the inspiration that I lost wasn't because I wasn't smoking, it's because I wasn't living. So for that little depression period when the only thing I was doing was watching football, I had nothing to talk about but football. But up until that point, I never heard anyone make a song about football. So I tried it, and then I put the song out on YouTube, and the first week it got like 30,000 views, like 20 plus players hit me up on Twitter. They started hitting each other up, telling each other to check it out. So it was crazy. And then I just kept doing it ever since.
Wow, that is an amazing story, Andrew. I want to ask you, though, what was it about the Broncos, though?
Originally, it was the colors. My favorite color is orange. And when I was in middle school at the time, all my friends started playing Pop Warner football, and I just wanted the new jersey, because the Broncos switched their jersey to the navy blue jersey, and I was like, I want that jersey. And then I got the jersey, and I noticed quickly people started asking me about the team, and I knew like nothing about what they were talking about. I didn't even know who John Elway was at the time. So I was like, I got to start watching football. So naturally I chose to watch the team whose jersey I had, and then I picked the perfect time to start watching football, because that was the year that John Elway finally got over the hump, and then he did it again the next year. But that moment when Pat Bowlen said, this one's for John, and up until that point, like, I was with him the whole season, so I knew by then, like, his struggles of getting close and then failing, going to the Super Bowl 3 times and losing. And then it was like, when he finally got over the hump, it was like chills, you know what I mean? And now, I didn't realize it would affect me as much as it did now. But now in life, I feel like I get close all the time. And then sometimes I fall short. But instead of being discouraged, I always look at John Elway like, you know what? I just got to keep driving. And then eventually, I'm going to get over the hump. Maybe it'll be 15 years from now, but I'm not going to stop trying.
Andrew, that's amazing that a color could have touched off so much creativity and inspiration for you. So you were inspired by the Broncos, but I hear that the team is also inspired by your music. What kind of response have you had?
I've had an incredible response, especially this year, because this year I went all in. Like last year, I just made a few songs here and there, which, I mean, it still took a lot of work, but last year I felt like I didn't do enough to get us over the hump. And I felt like the songs I made could impact the kinetic energy that the fans and the players, after hearing like Wes Woodyard and Julius Thomas and people like that, and Decker saying that they listen to my songs, I felt like I could have an impact on the game. So this year I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a song before every single game, about every single game. And I shot a music video to every game, which was crazy. But I didn't realize, like, I didn't anticipate how hard it would be to actually do that, given the fact that I wanted the songs to be relevant. So I'd have to wait until the last game was over to start writing a new song, then record it, mix it, master it, come up with a concept for a video, not by myself, obviously with my director and producer, and then shoot the video, have them edit it, me give them the feedback, and then put it out and then share it, all within a 2-day window.
Andrew, we're running out of time, but I want to tell you we're actually showing your video as we're talking. I only have a few seconds left here. It's the Super Bowl. Your team is in. You want to take us out on a bit of a rap?
Sure. I got one already ready to go. This is one of my favorite songs. It's called Inches. It's about football and life being a game of inches. Eye black on, cleats laced up. The morning after the game, when you wake up, when you look in the mirror, will you stare at the face of a champ? Or be that guy from that team that for the life of me, I just can't seem to remember it all, cause it wasn't a team that won, and nobody ever remembers a team that lost. When it's all said and done, when you're on the edge of being a legend, couple inches from being forgotten. If you scratch and clawed and gave your all for that inch, would you have gotten it? If you could've, then you should've, cause you never find out what it could've been. It'll play in your mind over and over again, wondering what it would've been if you did. Try and build that legacy so your legend will always live on. But if you come up short by a couple inches, that legend might never be. Better the moment, gotta own it, never know if and when you ever get another shot. Moments like this usually come once in a lifetime, better off planning for it not coming.